Welcome to Social Science class History part. The concluding part of the lesson, the revolt of 1857. The topics for today are the company fights back, effects of the revolt, and lastly, why did the revolt fail? Let's continue with the company fights back. The East India Company decided to prevent the revolt with all its might. They tried their best to prevent the revolt. It brought more forces from England. They even passed new laws through which the rebels could be easily convinced. The company recaptured Delhi in September 1857, and Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, was put to lifetime imprisonment. Even his two sons were shot dead before his eyes. He and his wife were sent to Rangoon jail in October 1858. Bahadur Shah died in the jail after 4 years, that is, in November 1862. Even after the recapture of the power, the rebels continued the battle with the British. And in the same way, the British also fought for 2 years, but ultimately they succeeded in suppressing the rebellion. And Lucknow was taken in March 1858. Rani Lakshmibai was defeated and killed in June 1858. Then Tantia Tope escaped to the jungles of central India and continued to fight a guerrilla war with the support of many tribal and peasant leaders. But he was captured and killed in April 1859. The next topic, effect of the revolt. The British Parliament passed a new act in the year 1858 and transferred the powers of the East India Company to the British Crown so that they can ensure more responsible management of the Indian affairs. Even a member of the British cabinet was appointed Secretary of State for India and made responsible for all matters related to the governance of India. He was given a council to advise him called the India Council. The Governor General of India was given the title of Viceroy. This is a personal representative of the Crown. This Governor General or the title given to the Governor General of India as Viceroy. This was totally a personal representative of the Crown, British Crown. Through these measures, the British government took over the administration of the country. The British government assured to the ruling chief that their territories would never be annexed in future. And they will also be allowed to pass on their kingdoms to their heir, that is, adopted sons. Before, it was not allowed, isn't it? So, after that, when they passed new laws and British Parliament made new act, then it was confirmed that they can pass their kingdom to their adopted sons also. And they were made to acknowledge the British Queen as their sovereign paramount. Thus, the Indian rulers were to hold their kingdoms as subordinates of the British Crown. And it was decided that the proportion of Indian soldiers in the army would be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased. It was also decided that instead of recruiting soldiers from Awadh, Bihar, Central India and South India, more soldiers would be recruited from among the Gurkhas, Sikh and Pathans. The British decided to respect the customary religious and social practices of the people in India. Policies were made to protect landlords and zamindars and gave them security of rights over their lands. So, All these were the effects of the revolt. Okay? Next, the concluding topic, why did the revolt fail? The revolt of 1857 failed because many of the native states did not join the rebels. The Sikh soldiers of the Punjab area did not cooperate with the rebels but remained loyal to the British throughout the revolt. Then, Bahadur Shah Zafar was neither a brave general nor an active leader. The revolt failed due to the lack of well-planned organization and well-planned action, because without any well-planning, they rose in revolt. And there was also lack of resources. They didn't have available resources. So, all these were the reasons for which the revolt of 1857 failed. So, we have come to the end of the lesson. Thank you.